Hey guys, YouTube says most of you watching aren't subscribed. If that's you, help a small channel grow. Takes a second. I post stories every day.
My fiancée said, "I'm having doubts about us. Maybe we should take a break, 3 days before Valentine's Day." I said, "Take all the time you need." Then I unfollowed her on everything, took my mom to the dinner I booked, and posted a photo with the caption, "Best date I've ever had." She texted 32 times that night. This happened 2 weeks ago, and I'm finally ready to tell the whole story. My fiancée Sarah, 25, decided she needed a break 3 days before Valentine's Day. Yeah, you read that right. 3 days. We've been engaged for 8 months together for almost 3 years. Wedding planned for September, venue booked, invitations, ordered the works. Everything seemed fine until that Monday afternoon when she dropped this bomb out of nowhere. I was checking my phone between meetings when I got her text. "Can we talk tonight? Something important." Came home expecting maybe wedding stress or family drama. Instead, Sarah was sitting on our couch looking all serious with her hands folded. "I've been thinking a lot lately and I'm having doubts about us," she said. "Maybe we should take a break before the wedding, just to be sure." I sat there for a second trying to process what she just said. 3 days before Valentine's Day. After 8 months of engagement, after I'd already made dinner reservations at Chez Laurent back in December. "How long of a break are we talking about?" I asked. "I don't know, a few weeks, maybe a month. Just some time to think clearly without the pressure of planning a wedding." Here's the thing. Sarah's been weird for about 2 weeks now. Staying late at work more often. Being secretive with her phone. Going out with her friend Kelly every weekend. The classic signs, but I figured it was just pre-wedding stress. "Take all the time you need," I said. She looked surprised, like she expected me to fight for her or beg her to reconsider. Instead, I just nodded and went to the kitchen to make dinner. For myself. "That's it?" she asked. "You're not going to try to change my mind?" "You said you need time to think, Sarah. I'm giving you that time." She packed a bag that night, said she was staying with Kelly for a while. Gave me this whole speech about how mature I was being and how this was probably best for both of us. I just listened and helped her carry her stuff to the car. The second her taillights disappeared, I pulled out my phone and started making some changes. Update 1, Tuesday. Tuesday morning, I woke up with a plan. Sarah wanted a break, so I was going to give her the most complete break possible. Started by unfollowing her on everything. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, the whole social media ecosystem. Blocked her too, so she couldn't see my posts either. Complete digital separation. Next, I called my mom. "Hey mom, what are you doing Thursday night for Valentine's Day?" "Nothing special, honey. Why? Want to go to dinner with me?" I made reservations at Chez Laurent back in December and I'd hate to waste them. My mom was confused at first, thought something happened between Sarah and me. Which technically it did. But I just told her Sarah was dealing with some personal stuff and I wanted to take my favorite lady out instead. "Oh sweetie, that sounds wonderful. I haven't been to a nice restaurant in ages." Perfect. The reservation was already for 2 people, so no changes needed. Sarah texted me Tuesday afternoon. "How are you doing with everything?" "Good. Taking your advice about using this time productively." "What does that mean?" "Just focusing on myself, self-improvement and stuff." She didn't respond for 3 hours, then sent, "Okay, good. I'm glad you're handling this well." I was handling it perfectly. Update 2. Wednesday was when things got interesting. Sarah's friend Kelly called me around lunchtime. "Hey Mike, what's going on with you and Sarah?" She needed some time to think, so I'm giving her space. She says you're being weird about the whole thing, like too cool with it. How should I be acting, Kelly? I don't know, maybe a little more upset. She's kind of surprised you're not fighting for her more. This was rich. Sarah dumps me 3 days before Valentine's Day, and I'm supposed to chase after her begging for another chance. I respect her decision, Kelly. If she needs time to figure out if she wants to marry me, then she should take that time. But don't you want to work things out? Can't work things out with someone who's having doubts about our entire relationship, Kelly. Ball's in her court now. Kelly got quiet, then said she had to go. 20 minutes later, Sarah texted me. "Kelly said you two talked. Are you really okay with all this?" "You asked for a break, Sarah. I'm giving you one." But we should probably talk about boundaries and stuff. Like, are we seeing other people during this break? The audacity was incredible. She wanted to keep me on the back burner while she figured out her feelings. You said you needed time to think clearly, Sarah. Do whatever helps you think clearly. That doesn't answer my question, Mike. I'm not your fiancé right now, Sarah. You made that clear Monday night. I don't owe you updates on my social life. She tried calling me after that, but I let it go to voicemail. The message was 10 minutes of her explaining how breaks don't mean we're completely broken up and we should establish ground rules and communicate better. I deleted it without finishing. Update 3. Thursday, Valentine's Day. Thursday was game day. I picked up my mom at 5:30 looking sharp in my best suit. She looked amazing too, dressed up like we were going to the opera. You clean up nice, Mom. So do you, sweetie? Are you sure about this fancy place though? Mom, you raised me by yourself for 18 years. You worked 2 jobs to put me through college. You deserve every expensive meal I can afford. We got to Chez Laurent and they seated us at our reserved table. Perfect lighting, great view of the restaurant, amazing atmosphere. My mom was practically glowing. She was so happy. Michael, this place is gorgeous. The prices though, are you sure about this? Absolutely sure, Mom. We had an incredible time. 3 courses, wine pairings, the works. My mom told me stories about her dating days I'd never heard before. We laughed until our sides hurt, and she teared up when I gave her flowers. You're going to make some woman very happy someday, she said. I'm making my favorite woman happy right now. Around dessert, I pulled out my phone and took a picture of us. My mom looked radiant and happy, and I looked genuinely content. Posted it on my public Instagram account with the caption, "Best date I've ever had. Love you, Mom." The response was immediate. My phone started blowing up with likes and comments from friends, family, coworkers, the whole network. Everyone thought it was sweet that I took my mom out for Valentine's Day. We finished dinner around 9:30, and I drove my mom home. By the time I got back to my apartment around 10:15, my phone was absolutely nuclear. Sarah had somehow seen my post, probably through mutual friends, and the messages were coming in waves. I counted them as they arrived. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're having a nice night. Saw your post, that's really sweet. Wait, you took your mom to dinner tonight. Is that the reservation you made for us? Are you kidding me right now? This is so petty, Mike. Everyone is going to think we broke up. You need to call me right now. I can't believe you're being this childish. Delete that post immediately. People are asking me questions I don't know how to answer. My sister just called asking if the wedding is off. Mike, please call me. This isn't funny anymore. You're embarrassing me in front of everyone. We need to talk about this like adults. You can't just ignore me. Fine, be immature, see if I care. Actually, I do care, call me back. Please, Mike, I'm sorry about everything. Can we just talk for 5 minutes? I know you're reading these. Your mom looked really happy tonight. I miss you. This break was a mistake. I want to come home tomorrow. I love you. I don't want to lose you. I'm coming over tomorrow morning. We can fix this. 32 messages between 10:15 p.m. and 2:30 a.m. I screenshot every single one, then put my phone on silent and went to bed with the biggest smile on my face. Update 4, Friday. Friday morning, Sarah showed up at our apartment at 7 a.m. I was drinking coffee and reading the news when she started pounding on the door. Mike, open up. I know you're in there. I took my time finishing my coffee, then opened the door. She looked like she hadn't slept at all. We need to talk, she said, pushing past me into the apartment. About what, Sarah? About last night, about that post, about this whole break. What about it? You made it look like we broke up, Mike. My grandmother called me this morning asking if the wedding was off. Did you tell your grandmother you're having doubts about marrying me? That's not the point. That's exactly the point, Sarah. You wanted a break, so I gave you one. Complete separation. I didn't mean we should act like strangers. What did you mean then, Sarah? Because you said you needed time to think about whether you want to marry me. That sounds pretty serious. She started crying then, not the manipulative kind, but genuine tears of panic. I made a mistake, Mike. I was stressed about the wedding, and I said something stupid. I don't actually want a break. Too late for that, Sarah. You asked for time to think, so I'm giving you time to think. But everyone thinks we broke up now. The Instagram post made it obvious. I posted a picture with my mom, Sarah. If people think that means we broke up, maybe you should ask yourself why. Because you used our Valentine's dinner reservation and posted about having the best date ever. My Valentine's dinner reservation, Sarah, you gave up claim to that evening when you decided you needed a break. She tried every angle, apologizing, promising it would never happen again, saying she was just scared about marriage. I listened patiently, then asked one simple question. Do you still have doubts about marrying me? She hesitated for just a second too long. I knew it, I said. You don't get to have doubts and keep me as a backup plan, Sarah. Either you want to marry me, or you don't. It's not that simple, Mike. It's exactly that simple, Sarah. Yes or no, do you want to marry me? Another hesitation. Get out, I said. Update 5, weekend and beyond. The weekend was wild. Sarah apparently spent Friday calling everyone we knew, trying to control the narrative. Told people we had a small disagreement, but everything was fine. Problem was my Instagram post was still up and people weren't buying her story. My cousin Emma called Saturday morning. Mike, what's really going on? Sarah called my mom saying you guys are working through some issues, but that post looked pretty final. Sarah asked for a break. Emma? I gave her one. A break 3 days before Valentine's Day. That's cold even for Sarah. Wait, what do you mean even for Sarah? Nothing. Forget I said anything. Emma, what do you mean even for Sarah? Just that she's always been kind of high maintenance, Mike. Remember your birthday party last year when she made you leave early because she wasn't getting enough attention? Turns out people had been noticing Sarah's behavior for a while, but nobody wanted to say anything. Emma told me about 3 different occasions where Sarah had thrown fits or made scenes because she wasn't the center of attention. Honestly, Mike, everyone was kind of surprised when you proposed. We all thought you were too good for her. Sunday, Sarah tried showing up again, but I didn't answer the door. She left flowers and a handwritten letter apologizing for everything and begging for another chance. I threw both in the trash without reading the whole letter. Monday morning, I called the wedding venue to start the cancellation process. They required written notice and said there would be fees, but I didn't care. Best money I ever spent. Final update. It's been 2 weeks since Sarah's brilliant idea to take a break, and the aftermath has been incredible. First, the practical stuff. Canceling the wedding cost about $4,000 between the venue catering and other deposits. Worth every penny to avoid a lifetime of Sarah's drama. She moved the rest of her stuff out last weekend. Had Kelly and another friend help while I was at my mom's house. Left the engagement ring on the kitchen counter with another letter I didn't bother reading. The social media fallout was beautiful. Sarah posted some vague stuff about working through challenges and focusing on personal growth. Everyone saw right through it, especially after my Valentine's Day post got over 150 likes and dozens of comments about what a good son I am. My mom has been telling that story to everyone she knows. How her son took her to the fanciest restaurant in town and made her feel like a queen. She keeps saying it was the best Valentine's Day she's had in years. Sarah tried reaching out a few more times through mutual friends. Always the same message about how sorry she was and how she wanted to work things out. My response was always the same. She asked for time to think, so I'm giving her all the time in the world. Last week I found out the real reason for her sudden doubts. Kelly let it slip to someone who told my cousin Emma. Apparently Sarah's been texting her ex-boyfriend from college who moved back to town in January. Nothing physical according to Kelly, but definitely emotional cheating. She wanted a break to explore her options while keeping me as plan B. When I gave her the complete break she asked for instead of fighting for her, she panicked and realized grass isn't always greener. Too bad. I'm done being anyone's safety net. The best part is I've been happier these past 2 weeks than I was the last 6 months with Sarah. No more walking on eggshells worrying about her moods or trying to anticipate her next drama. My mom and I have dinner plans every Thursday now. She says I seem lighter, like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. She's not wrong. Sarah can take all the time she needs to think. Meanwhile, I'm moving forward with my life and sleeping great at night, knowing I dodged a massive bullet. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. Hey viewers, hope you enjoyed the story. What I love about this story is how it exposes the real game she was playing. She didn't want a break to think about their relationship. She wanted a break to explore other options while keeping him as a backup plan. The ex-boyfriend detail at the end confirms what we all suspected from the beginning. And notice how she panicked when he actually gave her what she asked for. Those 32 texts in one night tell you everything you need to know. Suddenly it was all a mistake. She was just stressed. She didn't really mean it. But our guy didn't fall for the backtrack. He stuck to his guns and made her live with the consequences of her choices. This guy saved himself from a lifetime of drama with someone who clearly didn't value what she had until it was gone. The wedding would have been a disaster. The marriage would have been worse. Sometimes when people show you who they really are, the best thing you can do is believe them and act accordingly.